Hello everyone. I'm going to read you a spread here. I actually did them on camera, pulled them on camera and everything, but I made a boo-boo technologically, and so I'm starting over with everything set up already. Um, I will do this again because my stick went out. This is Palo Santo. It's an alternative to incense for people who don't have access to the major types of incense like frankincense and things like that. It's a very accessible, open practice. Um, so I use it. I also have some white sage that I use on occasion. Um, I'm not sure how open a practice that is among First Nations people and such. I avoid using things like sweetgrass and stuff for myself because I do not feel appropriately allowed for that at this stage. Um, but wrap around of everything. Stinky! Love the stinky. Lots of smoky smoke. So we've got our Palo Santo going. Let me introduce you a little bit to my table. It's over here so they look here to move around when I get there. But what we have here, I've got a star. That's the Tori star from my friends in the SCA, the Society for Creative Anachronism. You'll recognize the cup probably. This was what's called a largesse gift. Um, if you are a member or go to an event and it's your first event, you are invited to take a gift home. My gift was this cup and the other little cup I used in my video the other night, last night. So I painted it. It came plain, uh, but this is painted all the way around. Started with this because there was a couple of little divots in the cup that just caught my attention and said, I need to do something there. I went through, of course. So that's my Magician's Cup. This is my Magician's Pentacle. It came from a self-help journaling prompt deck of cards that were created by the Smoking Barrel Tavern. That's their symbol. But the other side is, of course, the star, the pentacle. Uh, and we've got my knife. Someone may recognize the beautiful construction of this. I purchased it at my first event with the SCA and my friend Croatia helped me save myself after I made the boo-boo of trying to sheath this thing, and I sheathed it and sliced my finger just a little bit, so she'll provide me first aid. Memories, right, Roisha, right? I'm not going to use real names. If I know your SCA name and I use it and you don't want me to use that name, please let me know. I will use a fake name before I will use a real name for somebody. I'll use a screen name before I'll use a real name for somebody. It protects you, it protects your privacy. Um, I will use my name. I'll use any of the names I have interchangeably almost. Um, some people call me Goody because I used a character that had a very hard to pronounce name, so we use Goody instead. I use Osbodikins, which is another name. This is, of course, my wizard one, my wand, my magician's wand. The wood is cedar, found in the grove out behind my house. I'll take you out there someday. Beautiful little place. And then we have these are the chakras, all from root to the crown. And the tape is purple because it's my favorite color, but it's also for the crown, and the third eye. And yes, down here, I I thank the ancestors and First Nations people who have lived on these lands for generations. I sit on unceded land. of the Capsi and Huxic First Nations. I own or and claim nothing of theirs, but I honor them. And these are the four corners of the medicine wheel: the white, the red, the yellow, and the black, representing the seasons of life. So those are my magician's tools, my magician's symbols. I also have inside the cup, I've got a set of dice. These are my two favorite. That's the 20 and that's the 20 and the 12. It was 12. 20's got a, that's the 20 right there, the moon. And then we've got the 12 here. So those ones are my dice. And I've also got clear quartz and selenite. Cleansing and enhancement. As we went, I want to say, maybe over here so they're in camera frame. I'm messy today. Obviously, I tried this once and it didn't work. I pulled a rune to start with, and I pulled Arcano, which is all about new birth, new beginnings, all that kind of stuff. So that's our theme. We're at new beginnings. This is a reading about new beginnings. This is the spread here is called in deck. In this is called Directive. Um, so we're going to read. I am not confident yet in reading them without this little book. I'm still learning. I'm still trying to incorporate them into my understanding. So we read instead of the rest. So our first two cards are going to be taken together, and they're representing the bitter events that brought us here. Yes, past events that led up to the current situation, and are meant to be read as a set. So we are four starships, which is the cups in this deck, and the 10 starships. Again, the cups. Uh, so take four. We are caught up in daydreams that we are unable to see the opportunities before us. This has led us to become dissatisfied and dispassionate about your current assignment. Must leave behind fantasies and learn to live in the present. And then the 10 of starships. A starship is only a home and a crew you can truly share it with. Unfortunately, you have found happiness within your community, whether they be family, friends, or colleagues. Enjoy the happy ever after. So, that's that. I know for me personally, I've been living in a lot of fantasy without. There. Did it go away? There. I need to see what I'm doing. Four of Cups, four starships. We have been in a fantasy world, and we need to kind of recalibrate the sensors, if you will. Uh, but it's that recalibration has led to a new crew, a new endeavor, and that's what we're doing right now. So yes, I know I've been living in fantasies at times. Been trying to resort and get out of that. This my deck. I'm a bit of a fiddle fingers at times. I'm gonna grab whatever's catching my attention, which is the ADHD as well. And we've got our next card is this is three of Latin Pentacles in this deck. This slot is for a recent event that triggered the change. So the three of Pentacles, the three of Latinum, a business event. No, that's four. It is always wise to enter into business with trusted partners. Collaboration with others will lead to successful endeavors. Whether you are stuck given Whether you're given a managerial position or are stuck as a subordinate, remember to pull your own weight. There's Latin. Um, I'm still learning, so I don't feel like I'm bleeding in this, but I can be a lower decker and keep working. I'm going to keep working on this and do the thing I need to do. And the next card in the slot is representing the current state of being. I'm going to reflect on this card deeply for the heart of the entire reading. This is Admiral Nechev, the Hierophant. She is law and order in Starfleet world, but she came out in reverse. So the heart of the matter here, Nechev in reverse. Where are you, Admiral? I think your name is one. There you are. Admiral Nechev in reverse is Justice Nechev believes who. No, that's the upright. The crew members of the Enterprise. I'm reading this. Trying. We'll keep going. Crew members of the Enterprise sometimes disagree with Nechev's orders, feeling that her strict adherence to Federation doctrine is not always the correct solution. If you are feeling similarly stifled by traditions and conventions, perhaps the time has come to leave them behind and walk your own path. Well, that just speaks back to me about my last video. I talked about Francis of Assisi and how he left the confines of the Catholic Church to find his truth again. He came back in the end to rebuild the church. I feel that's where I'm at. I'm leaving behind the old, leaving behind the strict conventions of the world I've been brought up in to walk a new path. That's for me. If you want to take it that way, take it that way. If you don't, you don't. The next one is the next one in the spread is our fifth slot, which is 10 of Atlas, 10 of Swords in the upright. 10 of Atlas in the upright. The slot is representing what direction the present force is taking. Have you chosen direction, or are the forces at play? Our battle is over, but the forces are depleted. We have endured a great conflict. The brutality has left us broken. You feel defeated and are unable to continue onward. Take the time to mourn and recover. When your suffering is great, it is at an end. Well, that makes obvious sense. We're leaving something we were very well versed in, very well seated in. We're leaving it because it's too restricted, and we have to. So we have to mourn that. We have to pull the swords from our back. In more traditional decks, you often see somebody with swords through them, where they're got swords all around, and they're in pain and things like this. So here we don't see an individual; we just see the weapons, the blades. So it's this deck speaks a little differently than the traditional tarot. Not that part, that way. Our last two cards are they show the future and are meant to be read as a set. Is it an outcome we want, or is it something we need to? Is there something we need to do to change our fate? So we have in slot 6 we have Loud, a page of starships. And in slot 7 we have Sela and what's her name? Sela is the Queen of Cloaks, the wands, and the cloaks are the wands in this deck. Tori, there they are. There we are. Taurus. That's her name. Taurus. The Knight of Cloaks. So we have the Queen and the Knight of Cloaks along with the Page of Starships. The Page of Cups with the Queen and Knight of Wands. I got up. Sorry about that. I had to take a bathroom break, and I left when I got up because the second I paused it was at 1500. So that was an interesting little number if you follow angel numbers. Um, and yeah, I'll leave it there. I'm not good with the angel numbers yet. I see the synchronicities and the repeated numbers, but I don't know them well enough to parse them. I just notice them and I leave them. But I'll get there eventually. I'm still learning all of this stuff. This is all brand new to me in a lot of ways. Anyways, let's go back to our spread. Uh, yeah. Two cards show the future, meant to be read as a set. What we desire is time to change the fates. So we have the Knight of Cloaks, Page of Starships, and Queen of Knight of Cloaks. So, here's Lao. My little friend Lao. Data's daughter Lao, one of my favorite characters. She felt. Data tried to give her emotions, and they broke her. She's a beautiful character. Um, anyways, the card in the upright, Lao in the upright, Page of Starship, Page of Cups. She's full of optimism and inspiration. Oh my goodness, I can barely see it. My eyes are watery. She holds endless potential and opens her heart to new experiences. This viewpoint will renew a sense of wonder in those she meets. However, she requires guidance when this period is coming. Like I said, I'm learning. I still need a lot of guidance from the crew of the Enterprise, the books, the everything, and if I find others who will guide me in the real, I will absolutely gladly accept the learning, the guidance, the help. So if you are watching this and you feel guided to step forward and help guide me, I welcome. I do. Very much I welcome. And then our last two cards are Commander Sela, Queen of Cloaks, and I think here's a Commander, Taurus, Knight of Cloaks. So we'll take these three of this red. This is me, I know that. If you want to take it yours, take it for yourself, take it. Put your own spin on it, put your own story into it. Anyways, Sela, the Queen of Starship, Queen of Cloaks, Queen of Wands. The cloaks and the wands are synonymous in this deck. Queen of Cloaks inspires those around her and nurtures her environment. She will always strive to aid those under her care and is generous with her time and energy. When the path ahead seems too difficult to continue on, she will offer respite. Uh, and then we also have the Knight of Cloaks. Knight of Cloaks is fiercely loyal to whatever cause she pledges herself to. Always ready for battle, she trusts her instincts and will act on them without hesitation. Her confidence is matched only by her fearlessness, for better or for worse. So, that obviously is telling me that while we are definitely open to all the new experiences and learning and ready for guidance and help, we are capable of nurturing ourselves and those around us. Uh, let's go back and intro again, just briefly for myself. Yeah. Nurturing the environment, inspiring those around us, always strive to aid those under care with generous time and energy. And the path ahead seems too difficult to continue on, she will offer respite. Uh, yeah. But we also do it with the fierce loyalty to whatever the cause is. Ready for battle, trust instincts. Yeah. Yeah, we're being fearless. We know we have these capacities going on. We have the wonder and the newness and needing and seeking guidance. And we also have the command of our environment and ourselves to provide the care and nurturing and help for others that they need. And that's kind of what this channel is trying to do, and I'm going to do it dedicated. So, here we are, friends. I hope you like reading.